Hello there and welcome. Today we are going to go over how you can kind of set up the 2025 season for F1 Manager 24 with the new in-game editor, or rather the create a team option. You will have to add an 11 team to get this done, but you can play with any of the 10 selected teams or the 10 basically current teams. I'll show you how to do it. So basically what we're going to be doing is changing team lineups to match the 2025 season. We're going to change the race calendar, and we're also going to change some rules and regulations. You can find the customization file for this in the description, but keep in mind that if you do download a customization file, you get my presets, so back up your own customization file if you made any basically presets for season customization before. If you want to make your own 2025 preset, you can follow what I do in this video, and with that, let's just get into it. So let's start with team lineups, and particularly with drivers. As we all know, Verstappen is staying in Red Bull, but Lawson has been given the opportunity to, prove himself, I guess you could say, by getting promoted to the main team. So that is exactly what we'll do. Lawson is now promoted to main team, and also there has been some updates, if you will, on some of the driver stats, particularly Lawson here starting now at an 81. For Mercedes, Hamilton is going to be moving to Mercedes, and in exchange, we are going to get Antonelli into the seat, who has been nerfed a little bit, but still has a great growth rate, so that should be okay. And for Ferrari here, Sainz is leaving, and in exchange, we are getting Hamilton, like so. McLaren is staying with their same lineup here in terms of drivers. Same is actually the case for Aston Martin. And for Alpine here, we are seeing Gasly and Doohan. So Ocon is leaving. We need to put Doohan in here, and I believe we should be able to find him on this one. There he is, 75 rated. That is the wrong one. 75 rated. I made a mistake here, but we're going to be promoting Hadjar anyway, so it kind of works out. But yeah, Doohan and Gasly at the Alpine team. For Williams, we are going to have Albon, and Sargent has been let go in exchange for promoting Sainz, of course. And then at RB, we now have Hadjar, who will be taking Danny Rick's seat, although Danny Rick lost the seat quite a while ago. But yeah, we are promoting Hadjar for that one to mimic the current lineups. Next up, we have Kick Sauber, and here we're going to get both drivers changed. We're going to get Edin Hulkenberg and, of course, Bortoleto, and that should solve that issue. I believe Hulkenberg is 82 rated in the game. 83 rated, actually, my bad. But yeah, Hulkenberg is in. And in the second car here, we are going to get Bortoleto. I don't remember if they actually boosted him, but we do need to find him and put him in the car. There he is, like so. Hulkenberg, Bortoleto. And for the Haas team, we of course do have Ocon and Behrman. Magnussen being let go, put it like that. Ocon, and then the second car here, we are going to be putting Behrman, who I believe is right there. So these are the driver lineups for next year for all teams, and it's a pretty easy fix to put them all in the game like so. Now, there are also some staff changes that you could do, particularly to match the current ones. Gannon is actually leaving Haas and going to Aston Martin. He is becoming Stroll's race engineer. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Sorted. But in terms of staff, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to kind of sort, because a lot of the staff that is kind of changing here is actually going to be new stuff that you will have to make on your own, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. We also have Harman here, who is going from Alpine to Williams, so we're going to go ahead and get that sorted. And Fry is actually, well, he will be a free agent here with this. He's actually still at Williams, just in a more, I guess you could say, important role. We also have Wheatley, who is leaving Red Bull. What he's actually doing this season is he's becoming team principal of Sauber, which you can't really do with the in-game editor here. But as you can see, we can, if you are just happy with the drivers, you can just do that and be happy with it. But I'm going to, for this, leave slots open so we can kind of see where we're at. Just give me a second here. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to put Wheatley back in the seat. We are going to allow Fry to go back to Williams. I'm just going to fix this really, really quickly. Let's put Pat Fry back here, and we are also going to put Harmon back, and I'm also going to reverse the race engineer decision that I made here, because what I want to do is basically now we do it like this. I'm going to save a preset for you guys, which is just a driver only, season 2025. We'll call it D because we do have limits, or 2025 drivers only, like that. So that now gives you the preset for the drivers only changes, and now we'll do the, as I mentioned, changes here to the lineups. Pat Fry is still going to, as I mentioned, be at Williams, but you can't really do that in the game unless you use the external editor to retire him, which is a little bit hard to do. And the same actually goes for Wheatley. Race, he goes from, you know, sporting director to basically team principal, and that's going to be a little bit harder to mirror. Now we do also have some changes to staff here, to kind of new staff, and you can actually create new staff here, and that's going to be the thing. And if you look in the description, we do have actually a load of new staff members. Lauren Muller is going to become Ocon's race engineer. We have Ronan O'Hare for Haas, so Slade here will also be let go. We have Richard Wood, who will be taking over for Lawson as his race engineer. We have Bossy, who will be taking over for Leclerc. I don't know if Xavier Marcos here or Adami, I don't know which one is actually going to stay with Ferrari. But as you can imagine, there are actually a lot of different changes. You can take a look at them in the description. But as I've been made clear in previous tests, apparently anything that I create as a custom staff or driver doesn't actually get pulled through with the customization file, so you would have to make these yourself. So if you are interested, you can of course do the changes here yourself, but I am just going to go ahead and create one here where the slots that you need to fill have been kind of just set up to make that job a little bit easier. Tsunoda is also getting a new race engineer. We are getting race engineers for Alonso. Well, Cronin has actually been promoted, and for Hulkenberg and for Bortoleto at Sauber, both of them are actually getting new race engineer. I did also hit Gannon there, so I do need to sort that. Picking wildly is not good for you apparently. So let's see, Gannon went from Stroll, so let's just put him back in there. But yeah, as you can imagine, there have been some changes here that you do need to keep in mind, and it's going to make your life a little bit harder. We also have a new technical director, technical chief if you will, at Ferrari and also at Alpine. So let us get those staff open, which there actually are. Again, and finally we have a head of aerodynamics at Alpine. Foreign directors, we have Stephen Knowles who's coming in at Red Bull, of course, and Red is actually going to Sauber. So just like that, we have now opened up the spots that are going to be available. As I mentioned here, a lot of these are going to need to be made because, as you can imagine, a lot of these aren't actually in the game because it's last year's game and plenty of staff members are missing. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of people you'll have to make, and here the thing is going to be you can make them as you see fit. If you want them to match the overall of the team, go for it. If you want the teams to be a little bit more competitive, boost them a little bit. But basically, it's going to be up to you how you want to do things, really. In terms of facilities there and car performance, you can also mess around with that as you see fit. You can also give them all similar balances, buff some teams who feel should have more money. But for the most part here, it's going to be very much up to you. Now, in terms of the car performance here, what I would probably do is start with Red Bull here. I would give them a 4-star car performance because the main reasons why they were winning a lot is actually Max Verstappen. And let's be perfectly honest here. We don't know where Perez would actually be in terms of rankings. It's kind of hard to judge that. I think car performance here is fine at 4 stars. And honestly, I would actually give a very similar performance to Mercedes, while giving Ferrari and also McLaren a 5-star car here at the start of 2025 season. Now, the remaining teams are a little bit hard to judge here in terms of where we should place them. I think for, well, as Martin, I think I would give them a 3-star performance alongside the Williams. I think I would give RB, and I wish there was a 2.5-star performance here. And honestly, same if it has, I would put them like this. And then we'd have Alpine and Sauber having a little bit of a job ahead of them here. Now, of course, you can change these car performance ratings as you see fit. I think this is a decent enough starting point. And honestly, you are free to argue with me in how you would, set car performance here. I'm not going to mess with starting balances because it's kind of difficult to judge. But if you want things to be more balanced, just go with 20 million, for instance, for each team. And that's going to get that job done. Now, I'm also going to re-edit this one to add in the car performance. But this one is going to be season 2025 open positions. So you can actually fill it in as you, feel you would like to have it. Let's just put it like that. Next up, we are going to go quickly over rules and regulations. And for the most part, things are remaining the same as far as I know. But we are going to remove the fast lap bonus point. It has been removed. And we do also need to go over the race calendars. I'm just going to quickly have a look at this to make sure I don't mess it up. So with the 2025 race calendar, we do, of course, start in Australia. Then we are heading to China. We go to Japan. And then finally, we actually head to Bahrain. So that one actually ended up correct. Same here with Saudi Arabia. Same actually with Miami. Then we have Emilia-Romagna, Monaco. We have Spain after that. We do need a little bit of a change here. But Canada is actually after that one matches up as well. Then we have, of course, Austria, Great Britain. Then we have Belgium instead of Hungary. A little bit of a change in orders there, kind of like usually is. Netherlands, Monza, of course, Baku, all of them are as they should be. Then we head to Singapore. Then we head to Coda, Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. So it's mainly just changed at the first half of the season, and there isn't really that many to do. But this is actually just how the season is set up and sorted, and we'll add this also to the presets as we go. But that is generally it there for setting up your own teams. I'm going to go ahead and just save that to the open position, and I'm going to go ahead and also show you that how you kind of do the create a team and then choose your own team here. And it's actually really, really easy. You just set up things as you see fit. Let's imagine I did that. But once you get to this final screen, if I click here, I can now play someone else. So you still need to play to set up the creative team as you see fit. You can make like Andretti, you can make Cadillac, you can make a team from the ancient age as you see fit, and then just change to another team if you want. It's just that simple. But yeah, this is basically my just going over quickly how to set up the 2025 season. It's not really that hard. The challenge is going to be to get those new people into the game. But you are perfectly fine just using the older, the people who have been quote unquote fired, although most of them just have been promoted to a different position within the teams or decided to quit on their own. But yeah, your choice. I would try and probably match it to the overall team. I would probably make some options for you too, but the issue is that, as I mentioned, anything you create, if you try and send the customization file to someone else, doesn't actually fit in. We did a driver grid on stream, and I upload customization file for those who want to try, and the created drivers just weren't there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you next time. In a couple of days, Around the Grid will be back. It's been a busy time. And we are doing another set of driver grids this weekend. The case will probably open in a couple of days. Let me know what you think, and I shall see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.